If you've been using this router for some time, you may want to jump to lesson 5 and 5A, which talks about secure DNS. We also have lesson 13 talks about SSH access with a public key. And we also have lessons 20, 22, and 23, which deal with advanced filter rules. This video series was created for the home user that's struggling to understand this router. The router is very capable, but there's a steep learning curve. So at the making of this particular video, I had 23 videos online explaining how to use this router. There's various ways to access the router. You can access it with Winbox if you have a Windows computer. It doesn't work on other computers. We have the WebFig interface, which you can use on any computer that has a browser. And out of the box, you have to use this to access the computer, the router initially anyway. And then later on, you can make this a secure connection. This one right here is secure, HTTPS, so people can't see what's going on between the router configuration and the computer that's doing it. Another method of access is using SSH. And the fourth method is use SSH with a private key. This is the most secure way to access the router. So this lesson series is going to explain all those various ways of doing things. And if you want to understand the router completely, you do all the lessons up. So that's what this video series is all about. We're trying to help you overcome the steep learning curve of using this router. The router is very powerful if it's configured properly. As you go through these lessons, the first lessons will be simplistic. They'll provide minimal protection, but they're easy to implement. Then as the lessons progress on, they get more difficult, but they become more effective in protecting your router. And then at the end, you find the absolute way of protecting your router. So the lessons towards the end are quite powerful and very effective. Whenever a video requires a lot of cut and paste, such as this, the video talks about how to activate HTTPS on your router. Down in the video description, you will find the actual text listed. Like this text right here, all this will be listed in the video description so that you can copy and paste this into the terminal to get it into the router. This saves you a lot of typo errors and makes it much easier to get the job done. Also covering these lessons is the basic functionality of the router. This information is hard to come by. It's just not readily available on the internet. So we're going to drag you through this functional block diagram and show you how the router actually works, which will help you understand how to write firewall rules to better protect your router. Because these technical videos are much more difficult to create than just someone sitting there talking about a topic, there may be an occasion where there's an error in the video. I'm always combing these videos looking for problems, and if I find a problem with the video, if it's a serious problem, then I'll reload the video to YouTube. If you subscribe to our channel, then you will automatically be notified the new video has been uploaded. And then you can go back and look at it and see what's different, what the corrections are. As you can see from this drawing, the firewall filter rules have 4 basic functions, and they're listed here. How we write those rules can use different philosophies, and they're listed here at the bottom. The simplistic philosophy is used on the earlier lessons in this video series because they're easier to understand. The more efficient philosophies are used once the network becomes complex. And later in the lessons, we're going to add separate DHCP networks so that we can isolate Wi-Fi users from LAN users. So we just want to point out the simplistic rules. The simplistic approach, I should say, is create rules to reject bad packets, create rules to reject non-considered packets, and this complicates the rules for complex networks. The efficient philosophy creates rules to accept desired packets, creates rules to reject bad packets, and creates a rule to reject everything else. And this philosophy works well with complex networks. And one last comment about these videos is that it's very difficult to speak without a script while you're doing things on the computer. So if I get a little tongue-tied now and then, that's to be expected, because it's not easy to talk while you're thinking and while you're doing things on the computer screen. So good luck with these videos. Hope you enjoy them.